A lot. In the meantime, joining us right now on the Squawk Newsline is an investor, Timothy Lesko, portfolio manager at Granite Investment Advisors. Want to get your sense on how you're positioning yourself this morning and, frankly, what direction you think this is all headed.
Well, it seems so far it's pretty devastating news for the travel industry particularly. But for the rest of the industries, this is just a wholesale panic sell-off. So it's hard to pick winners and losers when every indice is down nearly exactly the same amount. So as long-term investors, sorry?
But you're describing this at this moment, you think of this straight up as a panic selling. You don't think of this as a fundamental issue.
Well, it's certainly going to be a fundamental issue. We're going to have economic weakness. It's hard if you close the NBA and you close all of these travel-related businesses not to see some economic fallout, but probably not 25% economic fallout, and also not a permanent economic fallout. And I think that's what people have to try to weed through, whether or not the changes that they're seeing in the businesses that they're invested in are permanent or temporary. And as long-term investors, if you think they're temporary, you have to hold your positions.
So, in terms of are the things you're going to be buying today?
We meet as a group every day when we see big dislocations. We will look for opportunities. Certainly, as value investors, you're either buying good companies at great prices or great companies at good prices. Maybe we're going to find some great companies at great prices.
Would you buy Apple right now?
Well, we own a full position in Apple, so for new money, we certainly would continue to own it, and we would buy a position in it. Whether or not we decide to go overweight Apple to the market, we'll certainly always be looking at that. We don't feel that this is a change in the way people communicate or the way they use the internet or the way they use mobile devices. So it's hard to think that this is a secular change rather than just a very hard cyclical weakness.
You've been a holder of Boeing. What do you do now?
Probably
what do you do now?
Well, each day when you wake up and you see news like this and you have big gaps down in stock prices like you see in Boeing, you've now discounted the entire aerospace section of Boeing. Boeing also has a large defense business and is continuing to sell other aircraft. Certainly the 25,000 plane demand that people see out of Asia may come down a bit, but it's still not going to come down below the rate of production for the two major aircraft manufacturers. So right now we've been holding pat. Certainly it's been very, very difficult to own.
When you guys have your morning meeting at your office and talk about the duration and the severity of what may take place, what does that chart look like for you? Do you say this is 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, and then is there a terminal value? I mean, we talked about the NBA shutting down. Do you believe that everybody's accounting for every league to shut down, every theater to shut down? I mean, that's what I think we're all trying to understand here.
Right, and I think that's what people are beginning to price in is a shutdown similar to what you saw in China for a period of time, and maybe not what you're seeing in Italy. We are too large a country and too free a country, I think, to suffer the same kind of shutdown. And I think that the hope is, for many investors, is that we bought a little time with this thing and that we may see cases begin to ebb as we enter the spring, that timing may be on our side to some extent after an initial significant increase in the number of cases, mostly because we haven't been testing for it, not because it has been so devastating to the population.